In 1968, an army unit accidentally discovered an ancient tomb during construction on a mountain top. After excavations by archaeologists, it was determined to be the tomb of a Han Dynasty king more than 2,000 years ago. This large-scale tomb was dug into the mountain, and many precious items were buried with the tomb owner, including a set of jade cloth. This is the story of this ancient tomb. 1.5 kilometers southwest of Mancheng District, Baoding City, Hebei Province, China, stands a small hill. In May 1968, a military engineering unit was building bomb shelters on the top of this mountain. After a blast, they discovered a cave with pitch black inside. After entering for observation, they found many pottery and human figurines. The soldiers immediately reported the situation to their supervisor. Soon, the authorities sent archaeologists and excavations began. The hilltop behind me is where they found this ancient tomb, a Han Dynasty tomb dating back more than 2,000 years ago. And now we need to climb up this mountain first. Interestingly, the name of this mountain has been called Mausoleum Mountain since ancient times. And isn't that a huge hint? Moreover, there is a village called Mausoleum Guard, about 4 kilometers away from the mountain. According to villagers, their ancestors once guarded a mausoleum, but now they no longer know which tomb their ancestors were guarding until 1968. This mountain is not high, only about 150 meters. Near the top of the mountain is the entrance to the mausoleum. Of course, before the tomb was discovered, this area was a normal hillside, and this passage was buried with stones and soil. Originally, the entrance was blocked with stones and poured with molten iron, making it very strong. The mountain is mainly made of limestone, and behind the entrance is a tunnel about 20 meters long. The floor is now paved with bricks, but originally it was just a layer of soil on top of the rocks. The ancient Chinese believed that the layout of a person's final resting place should be the same as when he or she was alive. Therefore, this section of the tunnel is equivalent to the porch of a house. Keep moving forward. This place on the left is the room for chariots and horses. A total of 6 chariots were placed here, and 16 horses were buried. The blue light over there is where the army blew up the hole, and that's where the archaeologists entered the tomb. At that time, the chariot had decayed, and only a few skeletons of horses were left. After being pieced together and restored, the chariot might look like this. On the right is a storage room with a lot of pottery, including basins, jars, bottles, cups, and other containers. What we see now are replicas. Ancient Chinese people more than 2,000 years ago may have used such items in their daily lives. One of the biggest problems in building tombs in ancient China was the drainage. This tomb is dug into the mountain, and every summer rainwater seeps into the cave. Therefore, drainage ditches were built everywhere in the tomb, and the water eventually merged into this well. Still, the dampness inside the tomb was overwhelming, and the temperature was relatively low. The open space in front of us is the main part of the tomb, which is equivalent to the living room in a house. Of course, this building was restored in modern times, and these items are also replicas. When archaeologists arrived half a century ago, the ground was littered with rubble. After careful work, they determined that there was once a wooden building and two tents there. The roof collapsed after the wood rotted. As can be seen from the photos taken at that time, drainage ditches were dug in the middle of this area. Archaeologists have discovered a large number of pottery and human figurines here. This is like a place where the tomb owner and his guests drink and eat. Most importantly, there are inscriptions engraved on some items, which is key evidence to determine the identity of the tomb owner. As we can see in the old photos, there is a pair of stone doors facing the tunnel. Inside is the final resting place of the tomb owner, roughly equivalent to the bedroom in a house. Archaeologists managed to open these doors and discovered that it was a house built of stone slabs in the cave. After more than 2,000 years, some of the stone slabs have collapsed, but the overall structure is still recognizable. Archaeologists have discovered weapons, armor, and human figurines here. The coffin of the tomb owner was placed on the platform on the right side of the chamber. Due to the extreme humidity, the wooden coffin had decayed. In the area where the coffin was located, archaeologists found a lot of jade objects. The most precious among them was a set of intact jade cloth with the body of the tomb owner inside. Due to the preservation environment, the body had already decomposed, leaving only traces of teeth. This jade cloth is now collected in the Hebei Provincial Museum and is one of the most precious items that is not allowed to be exhibited abroad. It consists of nearly 2,500 jade pieces connected with gold threads. The total weight of these gold threads exceeds 1 kilogram. According to historical records, in the Han Dynasty more than 2,000 years ago, emperors and high-ranking nobles would be buried wearing jade clothes after their death. However, modern people have never seen what jade clothes look like. The jade cloth found here connected historical records with actual objects. At the same time, it became more certain that the tomb owner was a high-level figure. There is also a small room on the left side of the bedroom. Archaeologists found toilet utensils, a sheep-shaped lamp, and an incense burner here. This place is equivalent to a bathroom. There is a circular tunnel around this stone chamber, the purpose of which is not yet clear. Moreover, it seems that this tunnel is not finished yet. Some think its function is drainage, but it may also symbolize a corridor in the courtyard. It was a common practice in the early Han Dynasty to dig caves into mountains as mausoleums. Considering that the tomb owner was buried in jade cloth, combined with the inscriptions on the items and the geographical location of the tomb, archaeologists concluded that the tomb owner was Liu Sheng, king of Zhongshan. Liu Sheng was the son of Liu Qi, the sixth emperor of the Han Dynasty. He was named king of Zhongshan in 154 BC and passed away in 113 BC. In the early years of the Han Dynasty, local kings had great power. The Zhongshan Kingdom under Liu Sheng had a population of about 500,000, and most of the tax revenue belonged to him personally rather than being handed over to the central government. Therefore, it is not surprising that he was able to build such a large-scale mausoleum. According to the burial customs of the Han Dynasty, the king and queen were buried in the same cemetery but not in the same tomb. So, it means there might be another tomb nearby. Indeed, there is another tomb not far to the north of this tomb, which is even larger than this one. And that is what we will see in the next episode.